Howdy, folks.
Hi.
Welcome back to Reading Held Hostage. My name's Blue, and I love to read.
My name's Justin, and I do not like to read.
No, you don't.
Can we actually record a little? I'm just kind of hungry.
You're hungry?
Yeah.
Well, we literally just ate.
Hungry for the Hunger Games.
Oh, is that it? Is
Yeah.
that how you want to introduce that we're starting the Hunger Games today?
Hell yeah, baby.
I am super excited. I'm ready to be done. I mean, like I said at the end of our Twilight episode, like, it was good. I mean, I get the nostalgia, and I get why people like it. It just wasn't for me personally. Hunger Games is.
I would argue it's bad.
Well, you are not a reader, so...
Yeah, but like everything that happens in it.
No, I hear what you're saying, and that's okay that's your opinion.
Yeah, but like all the things that happen in the book makes me think it's bad.
No, again, I hear what you're saying.
Like the whole story of it makes me think that book is bad.
No, I hear what you're saying, and it's okay to be wrong.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to start the Hunger Games today. It's 3 books, for those of you who don't know. The Hunger Games, then Catching Fire, and then Mockingjay. They came out like back to back, 2008, 2009, 2010.
She running through them.
She is, and I don't think it really affected her writing quality, if I'm being honest. I do think it affected Twilight's writing quality.
Yeah.
But Suzanne Collins, I'll go through what I have for her, because I did some background on her and her books, but I don't think it really did too much.
Is this an epilogue to our podcast?
I have to introduce you. Fine, you introduce the Hunger Games.
It's that book that got movies.
Oh, is that it?
Yep.
Okay. The movies released, again, back to back in 2012, 13, 14, and then 15.
Yeah.
So, I do think the movies suffered a little bit from the sequential release.
Do you want to know a fun fact?
What?
After the Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence wanted to do more indie stuff. And that's where her passion is now, too.
Yeah, she's been doing a lot of indie stuff nowadays.
But her agents hid scripts from her.
What the hell?
So she couldn't do indie movies. She had to do big movies.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, I do think she's a great actor. I think everybody who got cast did a really good job in the movies. And if you haven't seen the movies, watch them along with us, I guess. Like, after we finish the book, we'll watch the movies, I think. Because Justin's seen them a bunch, which leads me...
Not willingly.
Which leads me to my next point is, can you tell me a little bit about what you know about the Hunger Games?
They're just so hungry.
Come on, honestly.
They gotta be gaming, man.
Tell me.
Do you know how much I love gaming? As much as gaming.
Tell me what you know about the Hunger Games.
So Katniss has a sister that gets drafted into the Hunger Games. She says,
no thanks, yeah.
Goes in herself, which
Okay.
I feel like that's a cop-out.
What do you mean?
If someone already gets called, donezo. They're called.
Okay.
That's how my rules would be.
Okay.
If you're called, dog.
They only get 1 tribute, but keep going. We'll talk about it in the book.
But goes to Hunger Games, people die. She doesn't with her bud.
Yeah. And she's a 16-year-old. She's little.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That is not portrayed in the movies very well.
Well, she is 20, I believe. 20-something. The woman who plays her, Jennifer Lawrence, at that point.
At that point, yeah.
But I think we're just going to go into the background, because I do have a lot of background on this.
Oof.
Well, it's a new author, and we got to get the background on the author before we...
Horrible author?
No, and let me just...
So far, we've had an author that barely reads their own material.
Yeah, well, authors for the hunters, yeah.
what was
The
Handmaid's Tale.
Margaret Atwood.
Pretty
She's
fun.
really awesome, yeah.
She's
kind of an aggressive feminist, so honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised to find out she was a TERF.
Yeah.
But anyways, keep going.
We had our good friend Steph, who put down Native American people and wrote a lot about essay without any helpful advice or some glorification of it.
Yep.
So we haven't, and then Ender's Game.
Orson Card, yeah.
Big old racism.
Super racist.
So like, haven't had a good hitting record with authors so far.
That's true. Yeah, so Susan doesn't really have that much. So Susan is about 60 right now, and she's the what?
That we know of.
Yes, that's very true, that we know of. And she's the daughter of a military officer and a youngest sibling. And she spent a lot of time as a kid moving around, and she has about 3 different degrees. I didn't really get too much of that, but she's very educated. She wrote one of my favorite series when I was a kid that are called the Underland Chronicles, Gregor the Overlander.
What have I heard about those? Is it all just what you've told me?
Yeah, probably. They're not niche, but they're for younger, like 8-year-olds. Like, they're kind of along where the Warrior Cats were in my reading timeline.
Okay.
I want to do them as well because they have this fascinating like code, and it's really
good lore.
No, yes, very good lore. Yes, I hear what you're saying. But she wrote those from 2003 to 2007. So again, 1 year, bop, bop, bop. And then she wrote The Hunger Games right after that in 2008. So they're very different, like, for the age.
A lot of skill to be putting out books one after the other, and they actually are, like, pretty good. I
honestly, like, for most authors, I would be, like, if I saw these timelines, I'd be like, ooh. Yeah. But for Susan Collins, I'm going to say I haven't seen it that way.
They're also not huge books, right?
They're not like hefty. They're good. Like, I think we can get through about 8 chapters today, 9 maybe, but they're not like hefty. But
not as hefty as Twilight?
No, thank God. I will say, again, the movie came out in 2012. She had the idea for the Hunger Games movies when she was channel surfing between a reality TV show and the invasion of Iraq.
Oh, God.
And it was such like a strange reality blur that's how she got the Hunger Games.
Do we have another 9/11 stepping stone?
Kind of seems like we do. Although she didn't start, she may have started, but this didn't come out until 2008.
Yeah. But still, Iraq is a direct...
That's true. But we don't have really anything. So this is what I was going to say is my next part is, unlike many authors, she doesn't really talk a lot about her personal business out in the open. She doesn't have really any scandals. And it looks like the biggest scandal that I could find, and I didn't do like in-depth sleuthing, but it was about the fact that Rue and Thresh, who are characters we'll discuss, were portrayed as Black people, which we will discuss. They are Black. Yeah. But people just got mad.
Oh, so it's not her issue. It's everybody else's racism.
Yeah. So she has been, she famously avoids not doing any interviews, which might mean there is something, but so far she seems fine. And, whatever she has, if she has anything evil in her, it's kept to herself.
To be honest, if I was a author, I wouldn't want to do interviews either. Yeah. Like, I'm writing for a reason. I don't want to talk to people.
That's a good point. And I wrote that, like, while I was doing my research, there were some religious elements I found, like bread and fire, but it's nothing nearly as clear. Like, you have to have a religious background to recognize that, like, input, which I don't, so
kind of religious dog whistles.
Yeah, just, like, little things, like, it is what it is.
That's fine, yeah. Okay. That could be the culture she grew up with.
And, again, we wouldn't know. Yeah. Because she doesn't talk about it. Yeah. Which is totally fine.
Hey, if you're super fucking racist, but don't tell anybody and don't act on it,
just shush. Just be your own.
That's not the worst.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Yeah, people are entitled to their own opinions, but it's when you're like Orson Scott Card and you just are a massive racist and it does affect your art and your work. Yeah. Yikes.
And other people's personal lives around you.
Okay, I think we're ready to hop into the book.
Alrighty.
I do have a little bit of an epilogue because, again, it's a dystopia, so there's like the background I wanted to get. Okay. So I didn't have to like put it in for every chapter. Yeah. Panam is the country, and it's filled with like a bunch of different types of segregation.
Pan Am or Pan Am?
Panam.
Like the old
like
Delta plane. What is it?
Yeah, Pan Am Air.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say Panam. I think it's Pan Am. It's a red word. It's not something that's going to come out the same every single time for me. Yeah. I know they did the movie, but I read the books first.
Yeah.
12 districts, previously 13, but the 13th district was destroyed during a rebellion. What?
Blow it up.
Yeah, by the capital. And the capital rules also. There's 12 plus the capital.
Okay. So 13.
Yeah. They're rich, they dress silly, and they have funny accents.
Hell yeah, baby.
And each district... So in my head as a kid, I always pictured it going out like... in sequential order.
In a line.
But that's not how it looks. That's not how it is. There's like all kinds of maps you can find online. I don't think Susan put one out by herself. But it's more just like regions of the previously known United States.
I do like books with hella lore though.
I love a good map. I love a map. I have a couple of books upstairs where like they got a map and I've got it creased because I'm like, okay, they're here. Because they move around a lot sometimes. Okay.
Aragon's one.
Yeah, we should do Aragon soon.
So if I ever reference a book that I was like, oh, I love that book, audiobook, baby.
Yeah, which is fine. I've been listening to these. So I listen to the chapter and then take the notes with the book in hand, which has been really helpful.
If Jeffrey Bezos wants to give me some of his money, I'll take it.
Audible?
Yeah. Don't say it. I'm going to have to bleep that out.
Put Benya over it.
Yeah.
Okay. So District 12 is like the most outlying district. They specialize in coal, mining, and mining in general. They're crazy poor, and within the district are separated into two different classes. The merchant class and the mining class. And the mining people live in the seam. That's what it's called. SEAM. It's just like the seam of the... I guess, district. They have a population of about 8,000, which does not include the peacekeepers, who are people from the capital there to keep their cops.
They're a fascist
oink,
overlord of dictatorship and monopolizing violence.
Yeah, look at all your fancy words. Even though they're supposed to keep the peace, most of them just like look the other way to like the smaller transgressions like hunting and gathering. Those who do that illegally when they go through the fence, because even they don't really have that much access to fresh food.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be like very...
Huck me a squirrel every once in a while, but...
But like, don't steal. Stealing is punishable by death.
Okay.
So Katniss, our main character... is...
I don't like that name.
You don't?
No.
Okay. I'll talk about the history. I mean, it's based on a plant. Her father and mother...
We're nerds.
Her mom is from an apothecary's family. She's from the merchant class. She married down to her father. And then Katniss's dad was a hunter and gatherer.
So merchants can move between districts, or...
No. The merchant class in the District 12.
Oh, okay.
So she married down into the seam.
Okay. So wait, so what's the caste system within districts?
That is the caste system within districts.
It's just merchant and then everybody else.
I'm sure the other districts have different casting systems, but we don't, there's nothing you're supposed to know about other districts. So since Katniss is our main character, all we know is what she knows.
Okay.
She's 16 years old with olive skin and dark hair, gray eyes. That is a very common look for those in the seam. Her sister, whose name is Prim, has blonde hair, blue eyes, and she's 12. She's very Aryan.
Yeah.
Her mom is still alive, but her dad was blown to bits in the mine 5 years ago.
Boom, boom, baby.
It's very common. Her mom, like I was saying, was born into the merchant class, and she was an apothecary. She worked as an apothecary, which is an invaluable resource to the people of the districts, because even they can't afford doctors. Like, even the merchant class can't afford doctors.
Yeah.
So apothecary is what you get.
Okay.
Just a little bit more before we'll hop into the first chapter, but Katniss is a hunter. She hunts for her family with a bow and arrow, snares, and all that kinds of stuff to make money. She doesn't have good, positive, strong feelings towards her mom because when her father passed away, her mom shut down.
Yeah.
And you and I know that it's depression, but this is a dystopia and they don't really have that word.
And you ain't got time for depression in a dystopia.
You really don't. And that's what Katniss is like, you can't do that. You like, sorry. Yeah. So
that's a big issue with depression. I mean, dystopias. Mm-hmm. You don't take care of your mental health.
That's true.
That's the only big issue with dystopias. That's
it, actually.
Yeah. Only thing I can think of.
The day we are starting off the whole book is the day of the reaping. So I just want to say the Hunger Games is like the first thing. So there's let me restart. It's twofold. It's a way for the capital to not only keep track of the population density but also to ensure that the districts know that the capital is in charge. And
so they basically do a census, whatever they do with this.
Mm-hmm. Each year, 2 tributes are chosen, 1 girl and 1 boy, between the ages of 12 and 18, which is such a wild age and physicality difference.
Once you get past 21, I don't think most sports has an age division past 21.
No.
Except when you get to 60 plus. Or 50 plus, usually. So it's just that is where age is almost broken up by year.
Yeah, honestly. And it should be because you are growing very, very quickly in that time.
I mean, I went from 140 to 185 in 2 years.
Yeah.
And
Jacob Black went from 5'10" to 6'7".
I thought we were fucking done talking about that book.
We are. Okay, I'm going to keep going. So no matter what, once a year, your name is put into the tribute pool, and it's cumulatively increased. So by the time you're 18, your name would be in there 6 times.
Okay.
However, for the poorer classes, those from the seams, they can get something called a tessary, which is food, grain, oil, just the bare minimum, by putting their name in extra times. And again, that is still cumulative.
What if you just collected thousands
of tessaries?
Yeah, if you were just I'm going in next year, I'm gonna volunteer, why not get as much out of this as possible?
Yeah. Well, it's not really good stuff though.
Yeah, but still it's something. If you have 10,000 of something, you still got something.
Oh, I like that theory. But Katniss at this point has put her name in 20 times. And all she can hope is that she won't get called at all, and also worrying about her younger sister Prim, and this is Prim's first year.
Yeah.
So that's where we start. That's the background on Pen M. I know that was a lot, but...
So her sister's 12 or 13?
12.
Okay.
This is Prim's very first year. So I just want everybody to think to a 12-year-old and a 16-year-old, just there's age difference, maturity level, physicality. Yeah. It's a very large difference. And we're going to hop into the first chapter.
But, depending on the person, the maturity level might not be that different.
So it's reaping day, and Katniss wakes up to see her sister's ugly-ass cat, Buttercup. She's just, cuddling with Prim. And Buttercup never forgave Katniss for trying to drown him. Because Prim brought the cat back and was like, we can take care of him. And all Katniss could think was, we're going to have to get rid of the worms, the fleas, the blah, 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 But she goes out to hunt through the fence that is supposed to be electrified, but it's literally almost never on.
Yeah.
She meets Gale, who's her best friend, and he's 18, but he's put his name in the pool over 42 times. Oof. But he has a family of 5, and it's his job to keep them fed and alive.
Yeah.
They make fun of the Capitol, and what's his
Get shot on sight.
Yeah. Gale got some bakery bread from the baker. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And they have strawberries, and Katniss brought goat cheese. So they're having a real nice meal.
Luxurious meal.
Yeah, luxurious meal. Because Prim has a goat. They haven't talked about it yet, so I don't know. After they go hunting, they go to the black market, and they trade their wares for the day. And they talk to their friend Madge, because Madge is the only one who will buy wild dog when they have to kill a wild dog.
Yeah.
So they always keep on good terms with Madge, because she's like, I'll just call it beef when I put it in the stew.
Yeah.
It's like literally at that point, like
I don't know. It's closer to rabbit.
Okay, gross.
Not that I like have had it.
Yeah, I know people eat that. I don't eat any meat, so I think all meat is gross. They separate and they go back to their own homes for the reaping. And I will say that when they're in the woods, Gale's like, "Fuck the capital. We could run away together." Like, and Katniss is like, "Oh, we have a lot of people to take care of because Gale's got a family of 5. Katniss has her mom and her sister.
Yeah,
she's like, we can't just leave them. We'll have to take them all." And they have like that talk. And Katniss is like, "Yeah, it's not feasible to run away," which I do see her point. So. And there's also nowhere to go. I hate with your ice cubes.
Do you think that picked up?
I do. There's nowhere to go because District 13 is just a heaping pile of radioactive rubble.
Yeah.
So.
But you could just go into the wilderness, couldn't you? Or is it pretty...
Well, they could, probably.
Pretty thick up.
So we don't know now, but I do know that they're in the, like, Appalachia area. So they're kind of in where we are, because we're on the outskirts of Appalachia, but they're, like, heavy in that area.
Are there other countries? Or is that never discussed?
Never discussed.
Okay.
It's a domestic. So, all citizens of District 12 have to be present at the reaping, unless they are literally on death's door, and the peacekeepers will go house to house to figure shit out.
Yeah.
So that's pretty, like, gross.
Yeah.
Katniss's mom has put out a dress for Katniss, and it's, like, one of the ones from her old merchant-style life. Mm-hmm. And so Katniss knows this is, like, her mom trying to give her something nice, and she tries her best to be thankful, even though she's still working towards, like, forgiveness.
Yeah.
We'll go into that a little bit later. And Prim comes around and she notices, like, Prim's, like, dressed up real nice and fancy in Katniss's first, like, reaping outfit. And she's just, like, getting really anxious, but she's like, "Come on, like, make sure you tuck in your tail," because, like, the back of her outfit, it keeps falling behind the skirt.
Tuck in your tail, little duck.
Tuck in your tail, little duck. I love that line from the movies. I always do.
So this is funny. Whenever I work somewhere and like, you know how you see like trainees or like a tour going through, I call them little ducklings.
Tuck in your tail, little duck. They head to the town square and, they go through the same thing they do every year, hearing the history of Panem while the mayor talks about it. They have the only survivor from their games in their district. They've actually had 2 survivors, but one of them has since passed away.
Doesn't sound like he survived.
Haymitch? Oh, shush up. The other survivor is Haymitch, and the other person is Effie Trinket, who's their representative from the Capitol, and all they do is talk. And Haymitch is, like, fucking wasted.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Absolutely wasted.
If I was living in a dystopia, though...
Well, they talk about it
if I had the ability, I'd be fucked up.
Yeah, well, with what he's gone through, and he was in, we don't know yet, but he was in a Quarter Quell. Yeah. So he survived some pretty brutal shit.
What age was he
I think he was 14.
That's fucked. That will fuck you up for the rest of, like, any age.
He was either 14 or 16.
Any age, but murdering, 24 people? Or no, it would have been more because he was...
Well, Quarter Quells are different, but his Quarter Quell was double the number.
Jesus. So 50-something? Because the 13 was it still...
No, 13's been gone for 70 years. The reason we have the Hunger Games is because of the rebellion. Okay. Yeah.
But...
We'll get more into his backstory because I like it. It just makes sense, like, why he is such a drunk.
Yeah, big trauma.
Yeah, like... And nobody to help him with.
Yeah.
All the money in the world, he's got no family. Like,
yeah, he's got no family. There's no therapist.
Every year he has to get close to 2 children and then watch them die.
Yeah.
I would be drinking too.
Yeah.
So, Haymitch is kind of like all up on Effie, which is a little inappropriate, obviously, but he's fucking blacked out, wasted. Then, first the girl name gets pulled, and all Katniss can think is, "Please don't be me, please don't be me." And Justin's ice cubes.
What are you talking about? They're not picking up.
But it's not her. It's her sister Prim. I can't imagine.
I would say that's worse.
My heart, because, like, I'm an older sibling. And I was mean to my sisters as a kid, but like...
So,
Haymitch,
again, I just thought of this. He was part of a quarter quell. The next year is a quarter quell, right?
For them, yeah.
Yeah. So...
Yeah, so
he was 25.
Wait, what you're
he's
saying,
30. He's 39.
Yeah, so what you're saying right now is that we're on the 74th Hunger Games. Yeah. Next year is the 75th, and that's a quarter quell.
Yeah.
So each 25 years, they do something extra fucked up,
yeah,
is
so
what you're saying.
He's 39.
I'm not doing
38,
math.
39.
Yes.
Okay.
And the guy who plays him is really awesome, too. I can't remember.
And he's been watching children die since he was 14.
Yeah, since 14, 16. I can't remember the exact age. But yeah, since... Because then he becomes, like, their... I can't remember the word.
Mentor?
Yes, thank you. Their mentor. I say it weird. For every Hunger Games. So he's watched, 50 kids die?
That's horrible.
And his district is a poor district, so there's very little...
I mean, it's usually 1 or 2, right?
What do you mean?
Winning?
Yeah.
District 1 or 2 winning?
1, 2, or 4.
Okay.
They're the... I've got it somewhere in here. But yes, you're right. 1, 2, or 4.
Yeah. Basically, the higher your number, the higher the chance you're going to survive.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. So, all right, my achy breaky heart if my little sister had been picked. I just can't imagine.
Issa gets drafted into...
Poor beast. But no. No, I don't
Fuck
even know.
Bitch.
It's just one of those situations where you don't even know what you would do.
Yeah.
And I hope I do exactly what Katniss is about to. So we're going to go into chapter 2. And she feels like all the breath has left her body. And she kind of remembers like a time when she fell from a tree, and that did happen. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I get that. Like... The shock of that.
Have you got the wind knocked out of you?
Yeah, twice.
What is your reaction to it?
Well, I was really little and I had fallen from a tree, so I don't know.
So mine is laughing.
Mm.
So I do the and then start laughing, and then it fixes it. I don't do that on purpose. Mm-hmm. I don't mean to do that. Mm-hmm. It fucking hurts.
Yeah.
But that's just my reaction to losing my breath.
That's insane. That's not Katniss's.
No?
No.
What's her reaction?
Her reaction is that this must be a mistake, because Prim's name is literally only in there one time.
Yeah, because she's...
Once.
A babito.
Yeah. And she can hear, like, behind her that the district is kind of murmuringly, like, they're angry. Like, they're like, what?
Yeah.
And
I'd be pissed. I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah, and this is the reaction every time, like, a 12-year-old gets picked.
Yeah,
like,
it's bullshit.
Yeah. And she can't even... like think straight. All she can think is like everybody's mad. Like even the people, there are people there who don't care, and they take bets, and even the people who are taking bets are like frozen.
Yeah, because it's a child. Mm-hmm. It's a full child,
a little baby,
and you know they're not going to win. So that's good. Not good for betting.
No, I think Finnick, who we'll talk about later, was the youngest winner at 14. So maybe Haymitch must have been 16. Mm. But she sees her sister, and her sister has all the blood drained from her face, which, yes.
Yeah.
And the back of her dress is sticking out. And that little duck that snaps Katniss into... The crowd parts as she's running towards Prim, screaming that she volunteers as tribute.
Yeah.
And she, like, shoves Prim behind her, and she steps in front of her, and she says that. And Effie's delighted. She's like, finally, some action! And then she's like, oh, well, you know, there's formalities. Like, she's like, this has never happened in her district. She's like, I think Prim has to get up here first, and then we introduce. And the mayor's just, like, dejected. He's like, who cares about formalities? Like, get up here, Katniss.
Yeah. The correct...
Yeah.
The correct feeling for sending a to their death. And
something I didn't really talk about is that the mayor has a daughter, and the daughter is one of Katniss's only friends. Oof. So, like, the mayor, Katniss would bring strawberries to their house and all that kind of stuff.
Like, hang out there. And
well, not really. Maybe hangout's not, like, the right, but, like, they were the only two, like...
He knows her.
They know each other. And like, Katniss knows almost everybody in this district because of her hunting stuff.
Yeah.
But... yeah, she does have a personal relationship with the mayor and his daughter. So, yeah, the mayor knows her, and he's like, fuck that. Like, we're not playing that game. Like, get up here, Katniss. And Effie's like, what's your name? And she's like, oh, Katniss Everdeen. She's like, OMG. Because Effie has absolutely no sense of dread. She's like, OMG, was that your sister? That's crazy.
No way.
And she's like, crowd, please applause. And so for those of you who haven't seen the movies, the Capitol people, and I'll talk about it a little bit later, but they have like the funniest fucking accent. They're just like, think like posh Midwesterner accent is kind of what I think.
Posh Midwest?
Yeah, it's hard to describe.
I think that's a, what is it called? Contradiction.
Oh, yeah. That's not the word, but I hear what you're saying.
You can't be posh and Midwest.
I'm posh and Midwest.
Oh, yeah.
Justin.
Yeah, totally.
As I drink a seltzer that you homemade. Okay. So, where was I? So she's like, crowd, please applause this, like, fantasticness. And Katniss says, like, to District 12's, like, astonishment, nobody does anything.
Yeah.
And everybody is silent. And I'll say it one more time, or I don't think I have said it, but these are like live streamed kind of.
Oh shit.
Like with heavy editing. So it's not really a live stream, but
you got a delay on that bitch.
So some people do this where they kiss the 3 middle fingers in their hand, their left hand, and then hold them up. And this is like a very infrequently used symbol of thanks.
The Girl Scouts flute.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, they do that to Katniss. Well, hey, the Girl Scout salute would make sense considering they're in old Appalachia.
Yeah.
I don't know why it would, but it just feels like it does.
It feels right.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Then the boy's name is picked, and it's Peeta Mellark. And even though he has 2 older brothers, nobody volunteers for him.
Nice. Your brothers hate you.
Well, so she recognizes him, and he's a large boy with broad shoulders. He's got shaggy hair, and basically he's the whole reason she's alive.
I think that the actors for the 2 should have been switched. The 2.
You think... Oh, for Gale versus Peeta?
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree with you on that, except for Gale was tall.
Yeah. But fucking... him being thick as shit makes sense.
Peeta? Yeah, because he's a baker boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hauling fucking 50 plus pounds.
100-pound bag of flour, bread, everything. Yeah. No, I hear what you're saying. But
like baking in mass is fucking hard work.
And they're the only bakers in town.
Yeah. For 8,000 people.
Well, let's be honest. Probably 4,000 people can afford it. But yes, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was like basically after her dad died, she was starving to death. She was like actually like on her last legs.
Yeah.
Her mom had gone into what we know as a depression, but what she just knew as her mom leaving her. Prim was 7? So she couldn't do anything. Not that she should have been expected to. And Katniss was like the patron of the house now.
Yeah.
And she wasn't old enough to get the tesserae from the... what's it called? From the Capitol. She couldn't put her name in extra times. She couldn't let anybody know what was going on, or else she'd get moved to the community house, which she knows that people got beat in the community house, and she never understood that because her parents never beat her. So she was like, fuck no, we're not going to the community house. But she has no idea how to keep them alive.
Yeah.
So it's pouring rain. It's February, I think. It's like it's cold again. They're in Appalachia, so it's a little cold.
Oh, February.
I know, it's freezing.
Appalachia would still be snowy.
Well, unless climate change gone crazy.
Just like Twilight, yeah.
Just like Twilight. Justin, you just threw a fit because I brought up Twilight. Anyways, she's trying to trade these old baby clothes with Prim, but nobody wants them. And eventually she just, like, falls in a puddle and she's, like, down. And she's like, fuck. She tries to go through the trash, but the bins had just been, what's it called? Thrown away?
Emptied.
Thank you. The bins had just been emptied.
They were like, I don't know, what's the word for it? Like, they didn't have anything in them.
They were metaphysically removed. And she's going through the baker's trash, hoping she can find some bread. And the baker's wife, who's a bitch, a mean lady, comes out and is like, get the fuck out of my trash. And eventually Katniss just, like, gets to the like nearest tree and she falls down. She's dejected. She's like, I'm gonna die here. They're gonna find me here dead.
Yeah.
Which is like, ugh, horrible.
Horrific,
I just like. So PETA comes out and he throws something away and she recognizes him from school. And, you know, she's like, wow. And they make eye contact. I know this is a long story, but it's important.
Yeah.
They make eye contact and PETA goes back in and she hears a commotion and a slap. And he comes back out and he's got red on his eye. She's like, all she can really think is that, like, wow, like a parent hitting a kid, that's insane.
True.
Yes.
True.
100%. And, you know, the mom's like, throw that burnt bread to the fucking pig. Like, who cares about it? Nobody's gonna buy that. And so PETA throws the bits off, hears his mom leaves, and then without looking, throws them to Katniss. Mm-hmm. And she was like, holy fuck. And they were able to live through the night.
Yeah.
And then the next day at school, she looks at him and sees his eye bruised, and she turns away in shame and sees a dandelion. And that's what sparks her memory of hunting and gathering. And the whole reason she's alive is because of him.
Yeah.
I know that was a lot, but it's important in their relationship. She feels like she owes him. She never even thanked him for this. Yeah. She's embarrassed. Also, her birthday is May 8th, which I think makes her a Taurus.
Dude, that's almost my half birthday.
Let's look that up real quick. May.
Welcome to the best segment of the podcast, Blue Google and shit. Brought to you by.
I was right.
This ass.
This ass?
This ass.
I was right. She's a Taurus, which actually totally explains all of her personality. Oh, yeah? So I'm gonna have to ad-lib and take out all my notes about how much I hate her fucking personality. Because I'm a Gemini, and Geminis don't really get along with Tauruses, typically.
You know how good we are at all that.
You're a Scorpio, so.
Okay.
Anyways, all she can think as PETA's getting picked is that about her being alive because of him, and also that she hopes somebody will kill him before she has to. Nice. What are your thoughts so far?
That's a pretty baller thought, actually.
I mean, it's killed or be killed. What are your thoughts so far?
It's a lot better than Twilight, really.
A lot better. A lot more kid killing.
A lot more kid killing.
And we haven't even gotten to that.
Kid.
Ickies.
Yeah.
Chapter 3, the next step of this is that she's taken away to the Peacekeepers for by the Peacekeepers for the goodbyes.
Yeah.
And she goes in the mayor's mansion, which is the fanciest place she's ever been, and she's like, wow. But she works hard to keep her face stoic for the cameras. Her mother and sister come through first, and she makes sure to tell them everything about how to survive. She's like, Prim, sell your goat milk and cheese. Mom, do your apothecary business. She's like, Prim, do not put your name in more, which, I feel like once you've been picked, your name should be removed. Even if somebody volunteered.
Yeah.
It's like, and okay, she's out of the thing.
Yep, she did it.
How fucking fucked up would that be if your name got picked, somebody volunteered.
Next year
you get picked.
They have it out for you, dog.
Literally. Well, Katniss, I guess, considering catching fire. Well, I don't want to get spoilies. Okay. She, looks at her mom and she begs angrily. She's like, you can't disappear again. I will not be here to pick up the slack. You can. And she's furious.
Yeah.
And her mom's like, I was sick, kind of gets defensive. I have my medicine now. And Katniss feels bad, but she's like, fine, take your medicine and just keep Prim alive.
Yeah.
Honestly,
what else can you fucking do?
Yeah. And I do get Katniss's anger, and I get her mom's anger at Katniss's anger. Yeah. I get everything that's happening right now.
Yeah. It's not like they have good coping skills for this.
Or any coping skills. Yeah. But then Prim's like, Katniss, I really think you can do it. Please survive. And Katniss is like,
dog.
Well, she's like, in her head, she's like, I can't just lie. I can't just tell Prim that I've already given up when I've just told them not to.
Yeah.
So she's like, oh, I will try. And she knows it's a lie, but she can't.
Yeah.
Her next guest is unexpected. She has 2 unexpected guests, actually. And it's the baker. It's PETA's dad. And he gives her some cookies, and they don't talk the whole time. He just sits there. I think it's 20 minutes. And then he leaves, and the last thing he says is he goes, I'll keep the little girl alive. Which, wait, like, honestly, though, that is all you need to hear.
Yeah. Honestly.
She just sacrificed her life for her little sisters. This weird guy she barely knows.
Yeah.
Comes in. Which we learn a history later, but still.
Yeah.
That's all I would need to hear. Then Madge shows up, who's also unexpected.
Who?
Madge is the woman from the black market who buys dog. Yeah. And she just gives Katniss this little gold pin, and she's like, this is the token of our district, please wear it. And Katniss is like, I don't okay? Like, she's like,
I don't give a shit about this district.
Well, they each get to wear, like, one thing that reminds them of home. Yeah. And so Madge is like, will you please let it be this? And Katniss is like, okay, like...
I literally have nothing else to my name, so
yeah,
sure.
Honestly. But then her next guest is Gale. And Katniss... up to this point, and still at this point, has noted that there's not anything romantic between them. But he promises to keep the family alive, and he talks about how, there's always almost wood in the game. He's, like, theorizing. He's like, there's almost always wood in the games for fires after the last time the Capitol found it really boring when people just froze to death because they couldn't make fires. He's like, there's almost always cover after that other game where people just, got bit by snakes out in the open, So yeah. he's like, pa. And
here's all the things that they did to not make it boring for the Capitol.
Literally, but are good for you as somebody who knows she's lucky here. She knows the wilderness. And then, that's her goodbye to Gale. She's led out to the train, and she's pranced around the cameras before she's allowed to go in, and she's, like, in awe of the amount of things that there are. And even hot water, like the space, the clothes, and then hot water. And she has her first ever shower, which would be really nice. What?
Gross. Shower sometime, idiot.
She bathes. The train is fast, and she's like, wow, that's crazy. And this is where we learn that her district is in Appalachia, whereas the capital is in a place called the Rockies. So I learned that the Rockies is in Colorado. Let's Google again. Where?
That's a fucking ways, though.
Well, it's going really fast, so it takes them, like, less than a day to get there.
Better infrastructure than the U.S.
Oh, okay. Whoa, the Rockies are huge.
Yeah, dude.
Don't act like you knew shit.
I knew that. I've fucking...
Babe, you were looking at me like you didn't know shit.
I've climbed in the Rockies.
When?
Yosemite.
I've known you for half of your life at this point. You're making that up.
I'm not making it up.
Oh my god. Okay, so anyways, for those of you who are out of touch with reality like me, let's snap back to reality. Oh, shit!
There goes gravity. Where'd it go?
Oh, where's Rabbit? Okay, thanks. That was pretty good.
No, it wasn't.
They go up from in New Mexico, Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Idaho, and Montana, which is the mid of the states, and it goes all the way up into, it looks like, above Vancouver. What's that called? Canada.
It goes doesn't it go like most of the way up the coast?
Wait, but like how do you it doesn't look like it goes all the way up, but it does go very far up.
Yeah.
Oh, I lied. I see another picture here that shows that it does go all the way up into the Arctic Circle in Alaska, which, like, now that we talk about it, where the fuck is the capital then? Because
from Alaska to Mexico, it's somewhere in between.
It's somewhere in that area. But yeah, so anyways, she says that even that's why she learned that they have to dig so deep to get their coal, is because even the place back in the day, Appalachia, used to be
coal mining. Right now it is.
Which reminds me, I saw, because we're from Ohio and we border Kentucky, where we're at in Cincy. And I saw a license plate that was like, we survive on coal, because you know how Kentucky is like so.
I saw those all the time working down there.
It's disgusting. She finally has some time to like get her head on straight. And she realizes that the pin that she was given is a mockingjay, which is kind of funny because it's a little joke to the Capitol.
It's mocking them.
I mean, they created mutations, is what they're called. So mutations? Just like genetically altered animals, humans.
Oh, so things mutations, but they're dumb.
But mutt.
Oh.
And during the rebellion, they created mutations of mockingjays that could actually have whole human conversation, like record basically. And they made them all male, and the rebellion ended up using these against them because, like, once they realized what would happen, they just fed these things false information. And it's not like the birds could be like, well, that was a lie.
Yeah.
So they just let them die off in the wild, but instead of doing that, they ended up mating with mockingjays, and they created jabberjays, who can, like, and mockingjays, so it is a mocking thing. Mm-hmm. So these jabberjays can create a wide range of human sounds and bird sounds and use them, and even create, like recreate whole songs sung to them.
I hate that still.
Oh, I hate, like, birds are so smart, man. It's insane. Like, I listened to podcasts, true crime, where African gray parrots have solved crimes before.
Not solved crimes, been evidence.
I mean, the lady that, like, inherited this African gray after a murder-suicide attempt that they didn't know was a murder-suicide. They thought it was a break-in.
Yeah.
The bird would just, like, the lady was just chilling and the bird would just fucking scream the last, like last moments of this guy's life.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, yo, what the fuck did I just get? Okay, anyways, birds. She gets dinner, which is insanely over the top, and Effie is like, wow, like, you're so mannered. They're using forks and everything. She's like, the savages from last year ate everything with their hands.
To be honest, I would have. If I was, like,
starving.
Who has time for forks?
Well, and they talk about how the reason Katniss has these manners and they're from the merchant class is because her mom is from the merchant class. Yeah. The reason Peeta has them is because he's in the merchant class. Mm-hmm. But this pisses Katniss off so much, and I agree with her here, is that she eats everything with her hands just to piss Effie off. You. Which Effie notices and is like, oh. Mm-hmm. They then talk to Haymitch, who's, again, drunk as fuck. He actually fell off the podium.
Fell off the stage.
Yeah, he, like, fell off the stage, and, like, everyone was like, oh god, no.
Oh, okay.
But
again, I would be
I understand.
Too.
Yeah. So sorry, they're talking about Haymitch, not to Haymitch. Yeah. And Effie's like, you guys need to be in line with him because he's the one who's going to be able to give you gifts and, like, sponsors and make sure you survive. And just in time, Haymitch shows up. He's like, what's up? Vomits and then falls in it.
I like Book Haymitch more than I like
really
movie.
like Book Haymitch.
I love, what is his name?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson. I love him.
He did a great Haymitch.
Dude, in fucking Now You See Me, best character in those movies.
I love him. I think he's awesome.
Those were not great movies. Like, they were watchable. Best character by far. And then when he did his own brother in Now You See Me.
He did what to his own brother? Okay, we're talking about, this isn't the Now You See Me.
It could be.
It could be.
I'm saying we don't have that. We're not that many episodes each. We can pivot to Now You See Me lore.
But yeah.
Okay, wait. The first one was titled
Now You See Me.
Now You See Me. The second one was titled
Now You See Me Too.
It could have been titled Now You Don't.
Pull the mic away from your face. You're peeking. It's like, no, you don't see me.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think Woody Harrelson.
The magician phrase? Now you see me, now you don't?
That would have been a good idea, babe. Maybe you should be in Hollywood. I like Book Haymitch a lot, too. So
yeah.
Chapter 4, they pick Haymitch up together. You know, they don't really talk and they just do what they need to do.
Bye.
Take him to shower, where Peeta volunteers to clean him off. And Katniss is like, fuck yeah, works for me. But then she, like, contemplates. Like, I think Katniss is a total fucking brat. But she's sitting here contemplating why he would volunteer to do that. And then it, like, pops in her head. She's like, oh, he's just being kind.
No.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of. Like, he's just being a dude. Like, he's not doing it for any ulterior motive, though. You know? Maybe kind's not the exact right word, but it's definitely not like he has an ulterior motive.
Yeah.
But, you know, she makes a decision at this point to have as little to do with him as possible, since kind people tend to dig their way into her heart a lot quicker and stay there.
Weird phrasing.
I know. She also throws out the cookies her dad gave her, and she ends up seeing that they're dandelion cookies, which triggers her back to when she saw the dandelion. And, you know, she kind of triggers back into this memory about how she remembered to hunt and gather, and she realized it like took her a while to gain the courage to go beyond this fence. And, you know, she eventually became a little bit braver. And then, like, she would hear wild dogs and she would just, like, run back. And, like, finally, you know, she started coming back she started coming back with food and stuff like that. And her and her mother's and her sister's lives was a lot better.
Yeah.
But the next day she's awoken by Effie for breakfast. Effie's name is Effie Trinket. Haymitch's name is Haymitch Abernathy. Peeta Malark, and Katniss Everdeen.
Fun names.
I kind of like all their names. I sometimes when I read names in books, I'm like, oh, you just like really made that up. Yeah. But like, I don't know, these like they definitely seem like names, like I can see somebody being named Everdeen or Abernathy even. Yeah. Haymitch not so much, honestly, but the rest of them I feel. At breakfast, she stuffs herself, and Haymitch is drinking alky, and she just like realizes she fucking hates him. Yeah. Which I get her perspective. His job is to keep her alive. What she sees from him is that he's a drunk.
They got weed in the...
Apparently not. I don't think the book would have... I mean, the book would have sold pretty well for our generation, but maybe not for the generation before.
They got weed in the dystopia.
True. In my dystopia, they will.
Okay, good.
Well, because of the apocalypse binder. She requests, like, training, and Haymitch replies cheekily. He's like, stay alive. And Peeta gets pissed and pushes the glass out of Haymitch's hands, where Haymitch, like, looks at it, and he just, like, turns to Peeta and fucking socks him right in the face. And then Katniss, like, slams a knife in between his fingers and the alcohol as he's reaching for it. Yeah. And he's like, I got some fighters this year. Which, again, he's watched... almost 50 kids die? Yeah. I get his need to disassociate himself.
He'd also be pretty good at vibing them out.
Yeah. Yeah, well, he lives in a different part of town than these kids, too. So I feel like if he did live in the town with them, that would be so much harder. Yeah. But, like, that also explains why he doesn't know these guys at all. Yeah. So, and then, like, Peeta, like, goes to ice it, and he's like, don't ice that bruise, like, keep it so it looks like you've been fighting with the other contestants. And Peeta, the little goody two-shoes he's like, but we're not supposed to fight with the other contestants. And, you know, he's like, Haymitch is like, fuck off, you didn't fight with the other contestants, just keep the bruise. Yeah. And Haymitch is like, okay, what, like, can you guys do? And he's like, Katniss, are you good with that knife? And she, like, throws it into the wall. Because she can throw knives, apparently. Dramatic. But she's like, she thinks in her head it's stuck, like, really good. And she's like, fuck, that made me look way better than I am because it's stuck between the seam of two wood panels. And she's like, I am not that good, but I guess I'm going to let him think I am. He then advises them, like, he's like, fine, like, I will try not to drink like crazy person, and I'll try to keep you guys alive. My first advice is don't resist when the stylists do stuff to you. Let them do what they need to do. That's their job. Yeah. And they pass under the Rocky Mountains, and Katniss has a panic attack because all she can think about is her dad's death in the mountains. Mm-hmm. And also how the mountains were one of the reasons they lost the rebellion, because apparently they were climbing over the mountains. Apparently planes didn't exist.
Don't they have, like, fucking hovercrafts and shit?
Yeah, and the hovercrafts go invisible, so I don't know.
All right.
Peeta is, like, smiling and waving at all the folks in the Capitol, and he's like, what? Like, some of them might be rich. And this makes her realize that not only is he the baker's son, but he has not accepted his death, and that makes him her enemy. Yeah. We're going to do one more chapter and then be done. You good? What do you have so far? What comments so far?
Not too much, really.
You liking it better?
It's a lot better than the worst stuff that happened in Twilight.
Well, Warrior Cats was pretty good.
Warrior Cats was okay.
Yay!
Warrior Cats was like...
That means we can do more?
Nope. That's not what I fucking said.
I think we should do more.
I think we should.
When we get a Patreon eventually, we should do the Warrior Cats, except for we should be, like, wasted. Like, I know I have, like, a seltzer, but I think we should be wasted like when we do that.
Blackout.
Well, maybe not blackout, because that would be bad for our livers, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And then we should record them and put them out as, like, bonus material.
Okay.
Because nobody's going to be able to keep track of it.
Yeah.
All right, chapter 5. She's being, like, scrubbed down, like, layers of grime and dirt. She's from, like, a coal mining district, so even though she doesn't mine coal, she's got, like, a layer of...
coal dust.
Yeah. All of her hair is being ripped off by the Capitol people, and she's mad at them, but she hasn't said or done anything to hurt them. And, while she's mad at them, she just, like, thinks. She's like, why are they like I said, they have a weird, like, way to talk. They speak in a high-pitched voice. Their jaws barely open. And their sentences end like they're going up. Like, they end at a high-pitched tone, like they're going to a question. Does that make sense what I just said? Okay. And they hiss on the letter S and a lot of stuff like that. So she's, like, she's analyzing the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Her team, speaking of names, these are capital names. Her team consists of Venia, Flavius, and Octavia. And they're cleaning her up. Flavia, what?
Which one was played by Leonard Kravitz?
That's Cinna. He's not here yet. Flavius has crazy bright orange curls, and Octavia's whole body is dyed a color of pea green. She is eventually good enough, and they stare at her all naked, which she's like, normally this would bother me and make me want to cover up, but I'm not even worried because these people don't feel like human beings to me. They feel more like little birds pecking at my feet.
Little birds!
Which is so rude, but, like, I do get what she's saying.
Yeah.
Then she's ready to meet Cinna, who doesn't have the accent, and he's wearing, like, regular clothes. But besides, like, that, the only thing capital about him is that he has gold eyeliner on, which, like, Leonard Kravitz in this scene, honestly, chef's kiss. He's a new stylist. This is his first game. And, you know, usually they, like, get the worst district. And she's like, oh, and he's like, no, I chose your district. She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then they eat. And as she's eating, all she can think about is how, like, she's like, how would I recreate this meal as my hunting and gathering life?
Yeah.
And she's like, I would have to do so much. And Cinna can tell something's wrong. And he's like, we must look despicable to you. And she's like, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
They talk about their costume. And Katniss is dreading hearing that she's going to have to go out stark naked, covered in coal dusts. Because that's what past stylists have done. Their, like, outfits have to connect to their district's core resource, and theirs is coal, so that's not really, like, a fabulous one. It's not like electronics where they can do something fun.
Yeah.
But Cinna has another plan in mind than making them naked. He's gonna set her on fire. So everyone knows that Katniss was the girl who was on fire. That's the actual line, is the girl who was on fire instead of the girl on fire.
Yeah.
Which reads different. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Peeta and her have, like, a good laugh about how they would rip each other's coats off if it hurts. And how Haymitch shouldn't be here because if he's so close to the open flame with all that alcohol on him, he might explode.
Boom!
But then it's their turn. And as they're set on fire, it doesn't hurt. And, you know, Cinna asks them to hold hands. They're doing, like, a very different thing.
Yeah.
She starts smiling and she can tell people, like her and Peeta's vibe. She takes a rose and blows a kiss back in that direction. She's, like, a whole different person. And the president, like, addresses them with their welcome. And he's a small man with white hair.
Little boy.
Tiny. Which, the guy who plays him is huge in the movies, I feel like. For, like, a gentleman of his age.
I liked him, too. He was a very
What's
good actor.
his name again?
I have no idea.
His actor name? The guy who played President Snow did a very good job.
Yes.
They did really good casting this movie, honestly. I think they did a lot better than the Twilight movies.
I think the directing was... I think it was the same thing as the Twilight movies, where the directing is what was off.
Yeah. Which I think that's just, like, was in line with the era of the time. They were trying to do, like, something new and different. And it's like, eh. Yeah. Like, I think Catching Fire is really good. Mm-hmm. You haven't seen the other Twilight movies.
I have no
Anyways. Their prep team is incredibly happy with their performance, and Katniss knows they did well because the other tributes look mad and jealous.
Yeah.
And then her and Peeta talk, and he gives her a small compliment and a smile, but this makes her uncomfortable because she knows, like, he's plotting her death. So she plays at this game with him and gives him a small kiss right on his bruise. And that is the end of what we're going to talk about today. What do you think?
Nap time.
Nap time. We're ending this recording at 8 o'clock. What do you think, though? I like the Hunger Games. Yeah. All right. You said you liked it more than Twilight.
Yeah, Twilight was fucking bad.
Oh, do you really not like it that much?
I did not like Twilight.
No, this. I don't give a shit about Twilight. Right. You sure?
Yeah.
I need you to like this.
Okay.
I really like the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
I guess now just follow us on. We're going to focus on TikTok.
Yep.
Because Twitter's dying. I don't really like Instagram. Yeah, follow us on TikTok at
Most of our content will be on TikTok, and if it's on other platforms, it might be a TikTok.
Yeah, true. But yeah, follow us over there, Reading Held Hostage. We have a couple TikToks out. You can see some of our kitty cats.
Yes.
We're on Twitter, Instagram. Follow us over on... What? Oh, you're yawning.
Yeah.
Subscribe to us over on YouTube. Yeah, we're excited to keep going. Keep making Hunger Games.
Twitter is at Reading Hostage. It's not Reading Held Hostage.
Yeah,
unlike
but...
the rest of them.
Who cares about Twilight right now? I do want to say... What did I say?
You said Twilight.
What did I mean to say?
Twitter?
Twitter. Fuck Twitter. Thanks. I've done a lot of talking. I did most of the talking this episode. Sometimes I do like
most of the talking every episode.
Well, sometimes it's like 80 or 70-30, but today I felt like it was 90-10.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to say that somebody left us a review on Spotify. 5 stars. Thank you. I think you're one of my sister Faith's friends. If that's you and you're listening, thanks. I appreciate it. And thanks to all the other friends and family who have left us a review. We want to get to 25 by the end of the year, so that's about a month. We're about halfway there. So.
And not friends and family who's left a review. If we don't know you and you left a review,
bruh,
big kiss.
Thank you. Well, maybe not a kiss. Maybe a high five.
Mwah.
You can run from Justin and I'll give you a high five. But
on the way out.
Yeah, on the way out. But yeah, leave us a review. 5 stars on Spotify if you can. It's just pressing a button, so we know you can, so do it.
You press the button to play
So do it, bud, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to Reading Held Hostage. My name's Blue, and I love to read.
Ooh, my name's Jesse. I hate reading.
Yeah.